Hey yo, I'm Colby from Sanitarium Productions. We're back again with another G.I. Joe action figure review. Today we're looking at the Pursuit of Cobra Shadow Tracker figure. Number 1105. This is the Cobra Jungle Tracker. Very cool figure. This thing came out in 2010, I believe. It comes on a standard blister card here from the G.I. Joe 30th anniversary line / Pursuit of Cobra. Very cool stuff here. Nice artwork here on the side showing this crazy jungle trooper and his dreadlocks and this cool green color thing. And yeah, very cool looking figure here. Flipping it over to the back here, you can see all the cool stuff here. This is the Pursuit of Cobra Mission Jungle Assault. The G.I. Joe team discovers a Cobra Terradrome fortress covered with indestructible armor. Very nice looking. They really should have released a Terradrome in the Pursuit of Cobra line. That would have been awesome. But anyways, if you would like to read through the bio here, you are welcome to try to pause it right here and go through all that stuff. But very cool looking file card there. Standard copyrighty stuff here. What's it say here? 2010 Hasbro. Yeah, very nice. GIJoeClub.com. That's no longer a thing, but it might be again one day. Yeah, very, very cool here. So let's go ahead and dive into this thing here. Yeah. Slice and slice and slice. We'll pop this thing out. We got a tray, we got the insert, we got the figure, all sorts of cool stuff here. That's what it looks like without the actual figure in there. Nice cool artwork there on the back showing the map of the world and things like that. So we'll set that off to the side over here and see what we got in here. This guy came with lots and lots and lots of accessories, so that is pretty awesome here. We're going to start here with our little insert. They put a rubber band around this one, so that's pretty cool. It broke apart when I tried pulling on it, but anyways, we'll throw that to the side here. Most of these were very similar. It still surprises me how they can fold these things up like this. Get them all wrinkled so we can't see what they are. Alright, double-sided here, so the first side shows a lot of the characters from the Pursuit of Cobra line here. We've gone through a few of these. We've still got a few more to do here at some point. But yeah, very cool looking. And then on the reverse side, we do have the City Strike. This has Beachhead on it and the Cobra Fury. And Firefly as well. Quick note here. I did one of these Cobra Fury from the Pursuit of Cobra line, the unboxing of it, and I somehow lost the footage, so that's never actually made its way out yet. So I may have to go back and see if I can find an additional one of those and maybe redo that video at some point. But yeah, that kind of bummed me out that I lost that footage somewhere. But anyways, that was the insert. We're going to throw that over here. And let's go ahead and just get this thing out here. So we got this cool trap net thing in this cool yellowish green color. I guess it's supposed to be like a neon green. So we got that. We have this cool spear right here slid into the packaging. Got to rip that out. We've got this cool flail thing here that is actually taped in. So we're going to slice the tape off of that and pop that out and pull it down. Then we also have a cool figure stand, shadow tracker, very nice. toss this to the side over here. And let's look at what we got here with the figure. Lots of stuff here, lots of tape. Luckily no rubber bands that I can see. So it should be fairly easy to pop out here. Let's start with his bow and arrow. Well, his bow. Then we've got his arrow pack over here. That just pops out. Then we got the figure itself. Bear with me while we pop this out. There we go. There's the figure. We got to get our X-Acto knife back out here for this knife up at the top. I'll toss that down here. And then we got these three down here. So we'll do a 1, a 2, and this crazy Klingon looking blade. There's that one. I'll stick that up there. We've got the cool machete and whatever this one is right here. Very, very cool. There we go. So there's all that stuff free. So let's go ahead and actually, before we zoom in here, we'll note that there is a piece of that rubber band thing here with him holding the other piece of this crazy axe thing here. So we're going to go ahead and slice that off. There we go. Alright, now we can zoom in here and take a closer look at this thing here. Very, very cool so far. I'm digging it. Bear with me while I make an adjustment here with the camera. It's being a little contrary today. There we go. Adjust the light here just a shade. That should give us what we're looking for here. So I guess we are going to start here with the figure stand. Kind of a standard Cobra figure stand here. We've got the name here at the top, or the front. Shadow tracker, the raised Cobra emblem there. 2 foot pegs. Copyright 2007 Hasbro. So, yeah. There's nothing really special about these. I like the 2-pegged ones a bit better than the single-pegged ones, but, you know, I'm just glad that we get them in there, so... Set that to the side here. I don't know, what do you want to do? You want to look at weapons first? Yeah, let's look at weapons here. So we'll start off with the bow and arrow. Well, the arrow pack. How's that? So this is basically the same, and I think we've seen some of these other weapons in other figure releases as well, so I'm not going to try to guess at what all of them came with. I know that for sure this one came with like Storm Shadow, and it came with a couple of the spirit figures and things like that, but it's got the nice green, neon greenish color on the feathers up here at the top. It does have a removable single arrow here, so we'll take that off and put that down to the side here. We'll look at the actual bow itself, arrow pack, quiver pack, whatever, backpack of arrows. Very nice detail in all this stuff. We've got the cool peg here on the back so it can peg into his back. Although that's going to be kind of hard because his dreadlocks are in the way. So he does have a secondary hole here on the bottom here that you can also peg that into. Works fairly well, like that. Yeah. Then it also has the single arrow here, which fits into this. It just kind of clips in place like this right here, and you can move it up, move it down, however you want to, so that it lines up with the rest of them. You should note that if we look real close at the arrow itself, there's a couple of places, like right here and here, where it's slightly larger, and that actually grips inside of the backpack here a little easier. So when you're lining it up, you want to try to hit one of those points if you can. It just kind of makes it lock in place a little bit better. And like that is what it ends up being, but still very cool. The arrow itself has a nice tip on it. I'm really amazed at the detail level they put into these things. Very nice. It's also got a slight notch at the very back here. The ideal being if you had a string, you could put it in the bow and string it and things like that. But as it stands, you can just take it and lay it on top of the bow itself, and it just kind of sits there and rests in his hand. But yeah, so there is the arrow. I guess we'll move these over here as we're doing it. Then while we're at it, let's take a look at the actual bow itself. Again, very nicely detailed here. It's a cool compound bow. Lots of amazing detail here. It's not collapsible, so you can't actually tear it down or anything like that, but it looks cool. It's got all the right stuff except for a string on it, and it's pretty awesome. So yeah, very cool. We'll set that right there, I guess. Well, I guess we'll move on to this big spear thing here. And I don't really know where I've seen this one before, but I don't know. It's very cool looking though. It's got a lot of really cool detail here in the actual blade itself. It also has that kind of peg hole thing right there, so you can kind of peg it in along with the backpack itself. So you can do something like this and kind of squish it in there, and then kind of still get it to fit on his back a little bit, but I don't think that's actually what it's meant to be, but you can do that if you need to. You can do whatever you want to be honest with you. But yeah, lots of cool detail there in the actual blade itself. And the actual staff itself has those raised edges on it. Very nice looking. Thing fits in his hand pretty well here, so you can kind of attach it like this in his grippy hand, and then he can grab the other end like that in his other hand and wield it pretty well. I mean, you sometimes have to play around with this hand over here to get it to grip correctly, but does a pretty good job there. Alright, we'll move on from there. Since this thing is sticking out, we'll grab this thing here. I think these came with Snake Eyes or Storm Shadow or whomever. Very cool looking, I don't even know what you call this thing, but a big cool blade axe thing. Nice silver details on it. I've got the wrapping on the hilt itself, and it is all black on the end with just that metal up at the top. So very cool looking. Very nice. We also have this slightly different knife hatchet looking thing. Has also the silver paint on the blade itself, and then the actual hilt itself just has the little details in there. So very nice looking. Cool. We also have this thing here. It looks like a bayonet, to be honest with you, so we'll call it a bayonet. Very cool looking blade right there. Lots of detail on that. You can flip it over. It does have that peg on it, so it will peg into his back as well. And when we get to the figure, we may have a few places that will peg on, but yeah, it gives you a couple of options anyways there. But very cool looking. I like this one. I don't know if I remember seeing this one before. I'm sure I probably have, but I can't recall what else this one came with. So I guess technically you could probably also attach this here somehow and make some sort of like choppy thing. I don't know. there's all sorts of stuff you can do with these things. Moving on, we got our nice looking machete here. Very cool looking. I really always have liked this particular style of weapon. We do have just a little bit of detail in the hilt itself. But yeah, very cool looking. Very nice. It's all solid black on this one. But we also have this little bitty knife. If I can get it to stay on my finger long enough to get it close. And again, lots of detail on this thing that you wouldn't expect would be there, but there it is. And I think I saw on his back here, he does have a holster sheath for that particular knife. Slides in like that. Stays in place. Very cool. I like that. We'll leave that on there for right now. Then we also have this crazy flail here, which has been painted. This one, I think, came with that the Chaos Dreadnought as part of the figure subscription service, which came later. This figure was released earlier than that crazy Dreadnought guy, but very cool looking flail. It also has that crazy peg hook on it. And you can see it's black underneath, so I'm assuming all this would just chip off. But so yeah, you can attach this thing to things if you want to. So you could attach that here and have a crazy flail thing on the end of his spear. I don't know. But yeah, there's that. He also comes with this crazy net. It's a cool looking net here. If you ever actually get it around the figure, let's grab our 25th anniversary beachhead here. So you could throw it over top of them and then pull down on these things, the handles and stuff, and all this stuff would, you know, kind of collapse on the figure itself and kind of capture them. So that is very cool. I think we saw this originally. Maybe not originally, but we did see it also with the Crocmaster. It's always been a very cool little accessory here. They also have detail in the handles on here. And this piece here is a two-piece. I'm not really sure what the second piece is for, or if that's supposed to go like somewhere towards to the top of it, or I mean, I don't really know how mechanically that is supposed to work, but yeah, it is what it is. So still very cool looking, lots of little details in there. So yeah, very cool. I like that. And again, that nice, it's not a real bright neon green, but it's a fairly decent neon green anyways. It works pretty well for this particular character. Moving on, let's get to the figure himself here. It's a very interesting looking figure here. I don't know if they've reused parts. I'm sure they did, but I'm not going to try to guess which parts they are. But very, very cool looking just by itself. We get a little closer here so we can see all that cool dreadlocks. And if we'll go around here, you can see they've got those little, whatever you call those things, baked into this thing. And you can see there's like different colored ones in there as well. Just a really amazing looking job here. It's made out of that plastic that makes it kind of movable, so you can kind of get a little bit of movement out of it. And if we look real close in there, you can see his actual face there. The mask itself, I don't think is supposed to be removable, and it's not easy to get in there to remove it, but I'm sure you could. But has those crazy eyes there, that nice translucent color going on there. Just a very cool looking and very unique looking figure. Beyond that, we've got the standard kind of whatever you call his vest here. Some very nice detail in here, so you can see some of the silver buckles here, there, and abouts. And this may not be showing up really well with the light here. If I dial that down a little bit, you might can see those. Like right there, that buckle is silver. And then it's got the black straps, other silver buckles here, there, and abouts. Very cool. We look at the back side of them here, and we got some more details. We got that knife built in there. You got a peg hole right there. If you were to lift his dreadnoughts up, you can see the peg in his back there. So very cool. An interesting camo pattern here on the legs here. It's kind of a jungle motif, but also kind of an odd one, but definitely works for this particular character. He does have a little bit of sculpted detail here, like a knife or something, or a sheath maybe. Same thing over here, something going on right there. Then standard knee buckles and things like that, and then cool looking shoes here. You can see the details like in the laces and things like that. Very, very awesome. And I got a little bit of green stuff going on right there. I don't know if that's just if that's sloppy paint or what that is, but a little bit of green right there. Articulation wise, the head would spin 360 degrees. It is slightly inhibited by this crazy dreadlocks that they got going on, so he can really only go about that far, and then we'll turn back about that far, which is still a lot better than I was expecting. I can't really go up and down any, but that's what it is. Arms, I did forget to show you the Cobra symbol tattooed on his arm there, but standard swivel at the shoulder joints, swivel and rocker there at the elbow joints. We got cool swivel at the wrist and a rocker at the wrist. We also have this cool bracelet thing that he's got going on. I get the Monster Energy vibe off this guy, is what I'm getting. Standard waist twist here with that crazy thing. He can't really bend at the waist any though. The rocker feature is still there, but because of his flak jacket, not going to get much out of that, but waist twist still works really well. Legs do go all the way up there, all the way back. And I will say I'm also noticing now there is a peg on his leg right there that I did not see earlier. Is there one on this side? There is not one on this side. Sorry. Double knee joint right there, all the way up, and then the swivel and the rocker at the ankle joint. So all in all, really awesome articulation. This is really kind of a unique looking figure here. It's definitely a departure from what we're used to seeing from the Cobra troops. Again, I'm getting the Monster Energy vibe off of this guy, but very cool looking. I don't know if this bright neon green would work well in a jungle. I guess I've never really been in the jungle, so I couldn't tell you. But I guess it would work okay. It looks cool as a figure anyways here. So let's see if we can deck this guy out a little bit. I'm going to assume that this knife here probably makes the most sense to go here on his leg. So we'll just stick that there and he's got it ready to go. Past that, if you have him turning sideways, then you can kind of get the arrow pack quiver to peg into his back like that right there. But very difficult if he's trying to face forward. And it doesn't stay in all that well because that's kind of pushing out. Then we've got one more hole right there. I guess we can take and stick the flail in there. We'll do that. Then he can have his bow in his hand. Let's see here. We'll put it in this hand. Then you can take this arrow, wherever it is, and kind of notch it into his arrow fingers right there, and kind of do a drawy thing. It doesn't stay really well, but you can do it, or you can pretend like he just drew the arrow and is trying to notch it. Again, that works pretty well. So he's like in the act of notching it. Then you're kind of out of room at that point and don't have any more room for the rest of these weapons. But I mean, you can kind of fake it and stick some of these knives and things back here. I don't really know how that would work, but you can like just stick it like right there and stick that one in like right there, and stick this thing in up here somewhere. And then this thing, you can kind of just slide in like that. And then he's basically got everything except for his crazy net. Anyway, so there is the Shadow Tracker. A very awesome looking figure here. Again, very much a departure from what we're used to, but again, it's got a lot of potential here. So I'm really digging this one. Like it a lot. Yeah, a cool looking Cobra. Well, that's all the time we have for today, so thanks for stopping by. As always, we appreciate y'all hanging out with us and kind of catching up on some things and looking at Joe figures. If there's anything you'd like to see in future episodes, drop me a note down in the comment section. Let me know. I'll try to get it out in front of y'all. Other than that, you know, just drop some comments. Let me know what you think about this particular figure here. Again, it's a distinct variation from what our normal Cobra troops are. And I think it's a welcome addition here. I really like it, but drop some comments. Let me know what you think about this guy. Yeah, if you haven't already, feel free to subscribe to the channel. Be on the lookout for more awesome videos coming down the pipeline. Go check out some of our previous videos for more G.I. Joe stuff and all sorts of stuff. So, yeah. Until next time, Yo Joe!